If you are looking at this ominous limited by budget notification in Google Ads and wondering what to do, then you need to watch this video. This notification is Google telling you that if you increase your daily budget, you could spend more. But do you actually want to do this? Will it actually improve your performance, or is Google just trying to scare you into spending more? In today's video, I'm going to show you a crucial hidden column to pull up in Google Ads that lets you answer this question. And then from there, I'm going to show you exactly what to do next to maximize your results based on which bid strategy and situation you are in. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. My name is Daryl and I have been running a Google Ads agency called Big Flare for over 10 years now. On this channel, I share the latest Google Ads strategies for growth straight from the trenches. All right, let's dive in and start with analyzing your situation. All right, so here we are in a Google Ads account I was recently auditing. As you can see, they are getting the limited by budget notification on a number of campaigns. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you can see your impression share columns. Click over here where it says columns, then modify columns. Click into all columns, then find the drop down for competitive metrics. Tick these options right here. Search impression share, search lost IS rank, search lost IS budget. Now for good measure, head over to this section here that says attributes. Tick this box for bid strategy type. Also tick these boxes here for target ROAS and target CPA. Now you can rearrange your columns if you prefer to see them in a different order. I usually like to have it in this order, right, like this. And now you can click apply. Okay, so now we can see our bid strategy settings, targets, and our impression share columns. This impression share column tells you for the impressions you were eligible to receive, how many did you actually get? The impressions you are eligible to receive is based on your targeting, so it's basically telling you for the keywords you're targeting, what percentage of the market did you show ads to? So it's basically like your market share. It's very rare to get 100% impression share. You'll almost always see a number lower than 100% here, and that's fine. The next two columns then will tell you why you missed out on impression share or market share. Lost impression share due to budget tells you how much you lost due to having too low of a daily budget. And it's this column here, lost impression share due to budget. That's the most crucial column that you really want to pay attention to. The limited by budget notification in Google Ads is basically telling you that your lost impression share due to budget is a positive number. You're losing some percentage of market share, which you could capture if you raised your daily budget. But the notification gives you no indication of the size of the problem. By looking at this column here, we can see the exact size of the problem as a percentage. So for example, in this campaign over here that's limited by budget, according to the notification, the campaign's actually losing just under 3% market share due to a low daily budget. Increasing the budget by 3% or more would potentially capture this lost impression share. So I think it's so important to have this perspective because the red limited by budget notification from Google looks so ominous and scary, right? But if you're just getting 2 or 3% lost due to budget, then that's actually a much smaller sized problem than if you saw the number over here being, say, 50%. Okay, so now you know how to see the size of the problem, let's go into what to do next. What you do next really depends on if you're using a target bid strategy or a maximize bid strategy. Now you'll be able to see which type of bid strategy each campaign is using, and if it's using a target strategy such as target ROAS or CPA, you'll be able to see its specific targets, which is also important to know as we go into the next steps. All right, so let's first talk about what to do when you're on a target strategy, and then after that we can cover the maximize strategies. If you are on either target ROAS or target CPA as your bid strategy, here's what you want to do. Okay, so we are obviously answering yes to this question here. We are losing impression share due to budget. I mean, that's why we're here in the first place. The next question to ask yourself is your ROAS or CPA very profitable? Now, what constitutes a very profitable ROAS or CPA really depends on your business, so I can't give you exact numbers. You have to work it out yourself. But if you answer yes to this question, then the next question is if you are actually allowed to raise the budget. If the answer here is yes, then it's simple. Raise your budgets. To be safe, you can go with the guideline of raising it by 20% per week. you don't need to be worried about the budget raise causing results to go down because you're already using Target ROAS or Target CPA and the performance is already profitable. In this scenario, when you raise your budgets, what you can expect to happen is for the system to just spend more, grab more market share, get more conversions, all the while maintaining your already profitable ROAS or CPA. The eventual goal you want to get to is to have daily budgets that are around 50% higher than your actual daily spend. Don't worry, you won't actually spend infinite budget here. As you raise your budgets, eventually it will no longer be the budget limiting you, it will be your Target ROAS or Target CPA, which is fine. Assuming it's profitable, then you do want the Target ROAS or Target CPA being the thing that is limiting spend, not the daily budget. Now, if you answered no to being able to raise the budget, maybe you have really strict budgets in place and for some reason you're not allowed to raise them even if it's going to generate more profit, well, then you're over here. This is also where you are if you said that your ROAS or CPA is not super profitable right now. In this case, you want to modify your Target ROAS or Target CPA. If you're using Target ROAS, you want to increase your Target ROAS. If you're using Target CPA, you want to decrease your Target CPA. By doing this, you will make the system reduce its cost per click bids on your ads. If you are not profitable right now, well, that's a good thing because doing this will nudge you towards getting a profitable CPA or ROAS. If you are profitable right now but can't raise your budget for whatever reason, then doing this is still good because by reducing your cost per click bids, you can get more clicks for the same spend. If you have to keep your budget to that amount, then it's better to be getting more clicks and thus conversions for the same spend, which is what you can achieve by making the system lower the cost per click bids by increasing your Target ROAS or decreasing your Target CPA, depending on which bid strategy you're on. After you've done this, you want to wait about 1 to 4 weeks after making the change. Then you can basically go right back to the start of this flow and you can review the lost impression share due to budget once more. If you are no longer losing impression share due to budget, then great, you're all set. But if you are still losing some, then you can start this whole flow once again, following the steps. Hey guys, if you're struggling with knowing what to do in your Google Ads account, then you are going to absolutely love one of my custom Google Ads growth plans. With the Google Ads growth plan, you get an audit of your Google Ads account done by me and my team. We run through a 200-point checklist to uncover all the hidden opportunities in your Google Ads. We then condense all of this into a document with just the top 10 action points, and then we do a 1-hour consultation with you where we explain everything you need to do to boost your Google Ads. After you implement the items in the growth plan, you get a minimum 10% increase in revenue, guaranteed or your money back. My team has over 50 years of combined experience and we've generated more than $150 million in revenue for our clients. Our Google Ads growth plan recently netted a 133% increase in revenue for a gifting company and an $83,000 increase in revenue for an event decor company, all within 30 days. To apply for your own custom Google Ads growth plan, simply hit the link in the description below the video. From there, use the calendar to book a time to talk with me or one of my senior strategists. All right, let's get back to the meat and potatoes of today's video. Now let's cover what to do when you are using a maximize strategy, referring to either maximize conversions or maximize conversion value, and you are not using a Target ROAS or a Target CPA. First up, you want to ask yourself if the campaign is getting good conversion volume. A benchmark you can use here is 30 to 50 conversions per month. If you're above that level, then I think you can just switch to Target ROAS or Target CPA. When doing the switch and deciding what target to use, look at your average ROAS or CPA in the campaign over the past 30, 60, and 90 days. Get a picture of its typical performance level and then set a target that is bang on or close to that average. At this point, you can now move over to the previous decision tree I showed you for target strategies and follow on the same flow from there. If, on the other hand, you are getting lower conversion volume, then it might not be right to move to Target ROAS or Target CPA, as these bid strategies might not perform quite as well at low volume. If that's you, then next step is to ask yourself if your current CPA or ROAS within the campaign is very profitable. If the answer is no, then I recommend you just decrease your daily budget. Yes, you will still be limited by budget. In fact, you will be even more limited by budget after you decrease it. But the priority here should be making sure you're actually profitable first, then worrying about limited by budget only assuming you are already at a profitable ROAS or CPA. By decreasing the daily budget here, when using a maximize bid strategy, you force Google Ads to decrease your cost per click bids. This means that for the same spend, you can get more clicks and sales, which in turn improves your ROAS or CPA performance. Now, if the answer is yes to the question, is your ROAS or CPA already very profitable? And if you are allowed to raise your budgets, then nice, you can consider increasing your daily budgets. This will bring in more clicks and conversions. A word of caution here though. When you're on a maximize bid strategy, if you increase your daily budget, the system can respond by increasing its cost per click bid. This means that your ROAS will go down and your CPA will go up in a lot of cases. So increasing the budget here has the trade-off of potentially making your ROAS or CPA performance worsen. So you can only really do this if your ROAS or CPA is already way above target. Let's say your goal is to get a 500% ROAS and your campaign is actually currently doing 800% return on ad spend. In that kind of a scenario, it's okay to increase your budget. You will get more spend and conversions, your ROAS will come down a bit, but because it was already so much higher than your goal, it's all right, you have some room to play with. Now, if you're in a scenario where you are not allowed to raise daily budgets, perhaps you're a media buyer working for a company that has strict budgets in place and they won't allow you to increase the budget even when the numbers plainly show it could lead to more profit, you're in a tough situation. There's no really good solution as to what to do here with regards to your budget and bid strategies and getting rid of the limited by budget notification. You could try moving to target ROAS or target CPA. Normally, I wouldn't advise it in low conversion volume campaigns. However, in this case, you're in a special kind of situation. And for certain situations like this, I do go with target ROAS or CPA, even when on low conversions sometimes. It can still work. It can just be a bit more hit or miss. Once you're on target ROAS or CPA, you can follow the previous flow I went through that shows you the target strategies. Because you're not allowed to raise budgets, you will end up increasing your target ROAS or CPA over time to make the system decrease its cost per click bids, so it can get more clicks and conversions for the same spend. If you don't want to take a chance on target ROAS or CPA at this point, then there is the option to just do nothing. At least do nothing to try and directly fix the limited by budget notification. Because you can't raise the budgets, your hands are kind of tied here, so you could just go and focus on other areas of your account, like ad copy optimization, search terms optimization, negative keywords, etc. If you are in this specific situation, you may just have to live with those limited by budget notifications. Just ignore them, as you are not in the position to fix that and should prioritize other things. If you got some good value out of this video, then you might also like this video right up here, where I dive into the very best campaign structures to use for your Performance Max campaigns in Google Ads. If you're running Performance Max campaigns in Google, then you don't want to miss out on this video. In it, I break down my 3 favorite campaign structures and guide you in picking the right structure for your specific situation. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see you on the next one.